Welcome back to Day One Voiceover. My name is Robert Vienna, and this channel is documenting my journey into a new career into the voiceover business from day one. Now, I thought about doing a New Year's resolution cliche type video, but, well, they are cliche. So instead, I decided to make something that's more VO targeted and outline what my 5 goals are for this coming year. But before I get into that, a couple of notes. Because 2025 so far hasn't been the greatest start. You can probably hear a head cold that I've been fighting through. Haven't had much of a chance to audition here in the last few days. I slipped a disc in my back earlier this week. That was painful. Couldn't audition through the pain meds and just the pain of having a slipped disc in general. So the auditions have gone a little bit by the wayside here to start the year. So not a great start, but things are looking better. Feeling a little better, so things should start going a little smoother now. But I wanted to note a couple of things before we get into the goals. Because earlier this week, I also did have a gig come through on Fiverr. If you've been following my journey, you know that my whole journey on Fiverr has been up and down. It was exciting at first, and it's been down since. Got a couple of jobs. Well, I still get a couple of jobs trickle here and there. The interesting thing about Fiverr is that it's become this place where people just want to record my voice for a paragraph or so and then just run off with it and make an AI clone of it, just do whatever they want. Whenever I get a request, I'll ask them straight up, is this for AI cloning? Because I don't condone that. They never even respond. They go away. Well, I had a job earlier this week where the guy said that his client, he makes videos for a client, and the voiceover guy that they use for the videos was no longer available, and they couldn't use him anymore. So they wanted me to redo it and match it as close as possible. The tricky part is that they also caught that he didn't pronounce the name of the company properly, and he wanted me to emphasize the correct pronunciation of the company. He sent me the sample video of what he wants me to mimic and imitate, and right off the bat, it sounded like AI. So I asked him straight up, is this an AI voice? And he insisted, no, absolutely not. The guy we normally use isn't available and won't be available for a while, so we're looking for someone to replace him. But we need him to sound just like this. So I agreed, and I said, okay, if that's the case, I'll give it a shot. I give him a take. He says, it sounds okay, but it needs to sound more like the guy in the video. He literally asked me if I could imitate him. And I said, listen, I can't necessarily just imitate someone else's voice. My voice isn't as deep as this guy. He has a different way of pronouncing words. I can't just imitate him. I'll give it a shot, but it's not going to come out well. Sure enough, I imitated him, and it was terrible. In trying to imitate someone's sound, I just lost all sense of what I was saying. And I was just reading words from a page, which is what you absolutely don't want to do in voiceover. And then we tried a third time. He insisted that I try again. I said, listen, if I do this again, it's in my own voice. I'm not going to try to imitate someone. If you want a real, genuine, authentic read, I can't try and sound like someone else, especially if in my mind it sounds like AI. So I tried it, sent it to him, and I actually never heard back. But in talking with some friends, friends that follow the channel, I also came to realize that this genuinely was AI. And the reason why he wanted me to pronounce the name of the company properly is likely because he couldn't get the AI to pronounce it properly. And so he gave me the story about wanting me to redo it. And that's when I realized that maybe things with AI aren't as scary as we initially thought. So much of 2024 was spent worrying about whether AI was going to absolutely take over voiceover. And in some regards, it has. The voice systems, when you call in and the telephony system says press 1 for this option, press 2 for that. That has pretty much been taken over by AI voice. That's great. That's something that doesn't necessarily need passion or anything like that, or real emotion. So it makes sense. But for every other type of read, AI just simply can't do it well enough yet. That voice absolutely sounded flat and emotionless. Even though he insisted that it was a real voice, the more I listened to it, the more it was obvious that it was not. So we went from going through 2024, wondering if AI was going to take our jobs, to my very first job in 2025, asking me to replace an AI voice. So maybe things aren't as scary as they initially seemed. And that's a little segue into something else that I want to talk about. Because I also heard that echoed in someone else's video, someone named Jesse Carroll. If you've found my channel, chances are you've found Jesse Carroll's channel on YouTube as well. Great guy, very enthusiastic. He reminds me very much of my sales days. He has that very sales trainer mentality, kind of aggressive, really, go after, ton of confidence kind of guy. And so he was talking about AI as well. And he also mentioned that kind of a retrospect kind of thing, that he doesn't think that AI is as big a threat as we initially thought. And maybe that's just temporary. I'm sure the AI guys will fix what they need to fix, but at least for the time being, it seems like they're pretty far away. But he also laid out something that is going to be my plan as well for 2025. He had a nice video talking about what he expects out of 2025, what he predicts. And he basically said that he's going to stick with voices.com, Voice 123, and then agents, which is exactly what I wanted to do for 2025. And I'll talk about my 5 goals because it relates to that. But it was just a cool thing to have set these kind of mental goals ahead of time and then hear it mirrored through an established professional. So with that in mind, my 5 goals for 2025. My first one is to find my niche. I put out a couple of videos last year, or it's weird to say last year, it was only a few months ago, but it was last year, where I recorded some different samples in different genres, video narration, medical reads, things like that. And I asked you guys to give me some feedback. I appreciate the feedback for those that did provide it, but it was all over the place. I didn't really land on anything specific. And as I've been auditioning more and I get shortlisted on places like voices.com, I've been trying to get a better idea, better read for where the industry wants me to go. Unfortunately, that still hasn't quite worked out because everything that I've got shortlisted for has been all over the board, from characters to voice of God type narration. So it's been interesting. So I need to keep working to find my niche so that I can focus on that and help build it and work my way towards building that part of my portfolio. Goal number 2, get on more casting sites. As of now, I'm only on voices.com, and I did promise last year that I was going to join Voice 123, maybe VO Planet and some others. As of right now, I think Voice 123 is absolutely going to be my next one. I'm going to do a video just like I did for Fiverr as well as for voices.com. I'll do a Voice 123 video showing my setup and how I prepared for success on that website. But I will also try and find some others, Hidalgo and things like that, to see if those work out for me as well. But the ultimate goal there is to continue practicing and continue auditioning and to continue perfecting the craft in hopes of landing more work. Goal number 3, use social media more. I set up a TikTok channel. I set up an Instagram channel. I believe even a Facebook page. All of that stuff. I call them channels. Well, they're pages. I'm so out of touch with social media. But that's the point. I need to use these. I set up all of those links and the pages and the sites and all of that, and I never use them. YouTube is the only thing that I've been using. But social media is a way to get your work out there, to announce small wins, to announce new demos. When I update my demo, I can put them on there, stuff like that, and hopefully someone will notice that and help spread the word. So that's something that I'm going to focus on a little more as well. Even the professional sites like LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn account for my professional sales career that I've had for decades. I should set up a separate page strictly for voiceover so that I can start connecting with some of the people that are out there, agents and casting directors and other VO talents and coaches as well. So that'll be goal number 3. Goal number 4, direct marketing, which also leads to agents, and I'll explain why. So there's a few different schools of thoughts on how to get voiceover work. Jesse Carroll, who I mentioned earlier, is a big proponent of auditioning. And audition, stay on those casting sites, and then have an agent to help you get some additional work that might not always appear on the casting sites. And then you got people like Mark Scott, who are very much about don't rely on that because those sites might not be around forever and they're not always run as ethically as you want them to be. So make the work for yourself. Put the work out there. Put your name out there so you can gather the work yourself. Reach out to these casting directors directly. Put your name in front of them. Offer them value when you reach out to them. So that's the direct marketing side. And because of my sales past, I have quite a bit of experience in doing that kind of thing. So that's something that I'm going to look forward to doing. And the reason why I say that kind of relates to agents as well is because agents is kind of goal 4B, because I do want agents. I do want to start connecting with agents. But a genuine agent won't really talk to you unless you've proven that you can find work on your own. Not necessarily through casting sites or things like that, but going out and seeking it. Until you can establish yourself that way, most agents aren't really going to talk to you. So that's another reason why I want to do the direct marketing as well. And goal number 5, win a national ad. So this is, for me, the ultimate goal this year. I was already approached, as you know, from a couple videos ago, or maybe it was my last video, I don't know. But I had an organic reach out. Someone reached out to me saying, we would like for you to audition for this national ad. That was unbelievable. I haven't heard anything back from that. I don't anticipate hearing anything back from that. Who wins their very first audition anyways, especially without an agent or anything like that? I might have completely outpriced myself because I'm so inexperienced with that as well. But I'm not letting that ruin my hopes or anything along those lines. I didn't anticipate winning that, so I'm just moving forward, but taking that as a win regardless because someone found me on my website without me putting in the effort, and that was really cool. But I do want to get to the point where I win that national ad. Bonus note, one of my good friends that I met through this channel, Craig Peters, he started right along with me, and so much so that he even purchased the microphone that he has based off of the video I put out on the microphone that I purchased, the Rode NT1. So we're very much on similar paths. He's been able to be a little more consistent with it, as opposed to what I've had going on superficially in my life outside of this. But he's made it work for himself, and he won a national ad, which actually I think today is when it should have aired. Oh my gosh, I hope I recorded that. I set my DVR to record it. Anyways, look for a monster ad during a motocross rally championship that was going to be aired on NBC, I think, because you'll hear Craig's voice. Craig, that's amazing, man. I'm so happy for you, so proud of you. It's been great connecting with you, and it's cool seeing your success. So that's one of the reasons why I want to set this as goal number 5. I want a national ad as well. I want to have something that I can put on my portfolio and on my website that I can be incredibly proud of, like Craig has. But I also bring up Craig's story because it goes to show that you put in the work, you put in the practice, you get your coaching, you do your auditions, and things will work out for you. His voice now was heard nationally today, and he started at the same exact time that I did. That's incredible. So, and it's been what, 6 months, 7 months, something like that? Absolutely amazing. And that's going to be my goal for number 5. So I hope this was useful to you in some way. I don't know if you're the type of person that sets goals. Admittedly, I'm normally not, but I figured if I put something on video here, I can always go back to it and reference it and keep myself accountable, hold myself accountable to these. But in any case, as always, thank you very much for sticking around to the very end. Like, subscribe, turn on that alert so that you can see the next video when it comes up. And hopefully you guys will keep me accountable as well. A month from now, 2 months from now, ask me how your goals coming along. If I don't update you guys, then ask me about it. Maybe you're watching this video 6 months down the road from when I put it out here in January. And I would appreciate a comment and review saying, how are the goals coming along? So I really enjoy interacting with you guys. I'm really excited about 2025. It's my first official full calendar year that I'll be in voiceover, and I want to make the absolute most of it. Hopefully I didn't make a lot of noise banging the table that the microphone's on. In any case, thanks very much, and I'll talk to you soon.